the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again by my good friend Matt.
Chris, this podcast is so good, I want to have sex with it.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I just all I ask is that you just bring them home in time for dinner, and as long as you use proper protection, and we're good. I appreciate you coming to me and telling me this.
This is getting the explicit tag right away.
Just right out of the gate. I want to fuck this podcast straight up. I just want to pound, just go into really gruesome sexual detail.
I'm not going to do that.
I would. So welcome everyone to the to Virtual Ball Boys. We are this week. We are wrapping up our adding teams to our football league, and that will be at the end because, of course, we'll leave you in suspense. And to the very end. Now, in the meantime, though, we'll go over some news items. It was actually relatively newsy past few weeks. Some big names being signed, relatively big names. We got some rules being approved and not approved that we'll also go over. In our middle segment, we'll be bringing back an old favorite, at least amongst us.
Yeah.
In mascot battles, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's get into the news. And as of this recording, the NFL has approved 3 new rule changes. Anything not significant. One of the rules that was proposed by the Eagles, it made permanent the expansion of automatic replay reviews to include scoring plays and turnovers negated by a foul, and any successful or unsuccessful try attempt, which was used a lot last year as part of the expansion of replay review. There's also the expansion of defensive player protection to a kickoff or punt returner who is in possession of the ball but who has not had time to avoid or ward off the impending contact of an opponent. And the third rule passed prevents teams from manipulating the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls while the clock is running, which essentially...
Hence what the Titans did in the playoff game against the Patriots.
Right, so it was done by the Patriots earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And then the Titans did it to the Patriots, which is why the rule is being taken away, because Belichick can't have his own weapons used against him. We can't allow that in the NFL.
No.
Let's face it. And then the league also added you can now bring 3 players off of the injured reserve instead of 2 if you during the season. So I think that's just slowly whittling away, like the idea that if you put a player on injured reserve that you can't take them off. I think that they're just kind of allowing anyone to come off injured reserve now, as long as it will help the team. But I think the big story of this is the 2 rules that were not passed, or at least not at the forefront. One rule was the onside kick rule, which would basically get rid of the onside kick and replace it with a 4th and 15 play, where if a team completes that, they get to continue their drive. And if not, the other team gets the ball. And also the Sky Judge, which everyone loved from back when the AAF happened, where someone would be up in the booth and would be refereeing from the skybox to kind of see if there's any clear fouls happening. Both of those have been tabled. What's your thoughts? I mean, I know that was a lot, but anything that stands out to you from what was approved or was not approved in this these meetings?
The 4th and 15 thing I always thought was such a good compromise for wanting to get the ball back quickly. It's very high risk, but in a good way.
Sure.
Like the penalty for losing is roughly the same as an onside kick. It's a lot safer, and you don't have to basically rely on luck to try to get the ball back. There is some skill involved. So I'm a little upset that didn't go forward, but I'm sure that some people had concerns about how that could be abused, which I can definitely see happening.
Right. I think that the initial rule that was being talked about, I'm not too sure. I mean, we would have had to see it passed probably to get the full idea of what the rule was. But I think that there was some discussion about limiting it to like two a game, maybe.
Yeah.
Like and like I guess meaning that if you're really down in a game, like you can't just keep on doing it. To get back in it, you're gonna have to kind of take the normal route. But if you're only down by like a score, you use it once to maybe stay in the game and not let the other team get it. I'm with you. I've always thought the idea was great. I think a lot of people are hung up by how great the onside kick when successful is. But the thing is, it just has not been successful lately.
It's been so unsuccessful that
yeah, a lot of
we
safety,
don't get the effects.
Right, the safety measures that have been put in place just it has made the onside kick. It's been very rare. Young-Hoo Ko, the kicker for the Falcons, has been like the only kicker who has been successful with the onside kicks as of late, and he's like a legend for it in Atlanta. That was the Thanksgiving game, I think, was when that was successful against the Saints. Yeah. Didn't result in a win for them, but it was at least a lot of fun. But I don't know, man. I think the more fun play would be having the star of your team, which is most likely your quarterback, go out there, or the star of your team being a running back or a wide receiver, having them be out there to try to complete a play to keep your team in the game. I don't know. Instead, you just have a bunch of special teamers and maybe like your tight end out there to try to catch the ball. I mean, I like the onside kick, but I understand that it's fading away from the game and things are going to have to change.
Yeah.
What's your view on the Sky Judge idea?
I think it's okay. I'm kind of I would be fine if it did or did not pass.
Okay. I guess for me I think that there has been so much stoppage of play in recent years, and there's so much like trying to litigate things in the league that a lot of people are sick of it. I don't know whether or not a Sky Judge would minimize that or not. I wonder if like I feel like there could be something where like the Sky Judge is up there, and if a penalty is not called that is clearly a penalty, the Sky Judge like buzzes down and say to like throw the flag, or vice versa, and doesn't really result in any like major like challenges or stop to replay review or anything like that. I think that would keep things moving a little bit more. But I guess it's just how are they going to implement the Sky Judge is what my question would be overall.
I also think that taking a break from penalty related rule changes for a year would be good, with the disaster that the pass interference rule was last year.
Yes, which yeah, that's if it has not already been discussed about on here, that rule is not going to be carried over for good reason. That was a 2019 rule solely.
It was a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Now, like, at this point, what the Saints would want is there's a clause that prevents them from facing the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know, preventing them from just getting their heart torn in two. You know, that's just it's not it. They have had heartbreaking playoff finishes in every round but the Super Bowl. Like it's basically been divisional round, then the championship, then the wild card round. And so next year they're going to the Super Bowl.
So they're going to make the Super Bowl and lose.
And lose in horrific fashion is essentially what's going to happen. So sorry, Saints fans. But you make the Super Bowl. So the other rule change that kind of happened I think now a week ago or so, was the ruining rule. And for those who don't know what the ruining rule is essentially the NFL's way to combat the diversity problems amongst the coaching ranks, and this rule seemed broken this year because I don't think was there even a single diverse candidate hired outside of Ron Rivera.
There was not.
So,
okay, thank you, Google Home, for your guest star on this podcast.
I was just like, well, who is that? Yeah, a lady in the home. I don't know. I just this whole Rudy rule has just they've flopped so bad on it. So now what they're doing is they're expanding it a little bit more, where team owners have now approved increasing the number of candidates who are interviewed for head coaching jobs, which means that teams will now be required to speak with 2 minority candidates instead of just 1, and they will also be required to speak with at least 1 minority candidate for all coordinators and executives. Now, there's also a rule that was put in place I don't see in this article that I'm referring from, that was approved, where basically a coordinator, or a position coach, I should say, that wants to become a coordinator can now go and interview for the job without the team's approval, which was not something that was in place prior to.
I see.
That's
That's a big change.
That's a big change, and that even goes beyond the running rule. That's a big coaching change to kind of allow a lot more movement, a lot more getting better positions ultimately for these other coaches, which in a way will help minority coaches kind of get to a higher level if they can. Now there was also this idea that was floated around, which got a lot of backlash from, I don't know, a lot of, I guess, just the white football fans who thought that they were trying to incentivize minority hiring by basically using it with draft picks, where like you could potentially move up in the draft, at least in the 2nd or 3rd round, if you hired a minority candidate, and I don't know exactly how much that was, but essentially they're trying to incentivize, hey, if you actually dig deep and actually hire someone that's black, or Hispanic or whoever, then that way you get rewarded for it, just in the sense of keeping things diverse in the NFL, which in a diverse league, that's well deserved, or that's well needed.
Totally.
What do you think of? But that of course that incentivizing stuff was tabled ultimately. It's not part of the new rule. What do you think of all of this?
I think it's good. I think it allows for better movement, better positioning, and growth of coaches in general.
Yeah.
And I don't know, especially after this last year, I don't know how the interview process for things goes, but the fact that Eric Bieniemy is not a head coach somewhere, just as an example.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and there were no new minority hires. Like Ron Rivera was hired, but he was a head coach last year for a different team. So there's not a new face in the head coach world.
Absolutely, and it's troublesome because people talk about pointing out all the time, when you have an NFL that is filled with predominantly black players, but a lot of the coaching staffs are predominantly white. There's just such a weird imbalance there that I don't know. I think there needs to be some sort of change. And when I think about the incentive thing, I know I was being a little snarky earlier. I could see where people would think that it could be a bit ridiculous to have teams move up draft boards just because they hired a minority candidate. But I feel like, what else can you do to improve something like this? I mean, because there is some, at least it seems like there's a lot of great candidates out there who are black who get left behind or get used as a rooting rule tool. And I worry that even if with the you must interview 2 minority candidates for the head coaching job, I feel like even then, I feel like people are gonna be like, okay, so which 2 black guys are we gonna bring in for us to interview so we could just get that out of the way? It's right. I feel it's tough.
It could just be a new checklist thing rather than an actual effort to hire someone, because no matter how many people you interview, teams still have their person in mind.
Yes. exactly. And I think that I look at like not that I don't see like there was some decent hires this season that involved white candidates, and I'm not trying to bash anyone who just hires a white head coach, because I'm sure that there is head coaches that are going to work out really well on that front, but it's just you have to wonder why guys like Eric Bieniemy are just being like that, are just not being considered. Although even though they're being praised up and down by the people who he works around, the players, the coaches, and also the media around, and the public as a whole. Like they see what he does, and they're like, "Oh, well, Andy Reid is the true play caller." That doesn't mean anything. Eric Bieniemy works with Andy Reid to get these calls together, and he's also called plays during the game.
Right.
He just Eddie Reid hands it off to him sometimes. So like, give me a break. It's just there is so much weird, like, twisting and turning to try to argue that a particular minority candidate does not deserve to get a head coaching job, and more than a white candidate. And I just see that so much on social media. It's just really disappointing. A little bit on the lighter side of news, the Jets have a new backup quarterback, and his name is Joe Flacco. The former Ravens quarterback and Broncos quarterback has signed a deal with the Jets. That Jets quarterback room is now up to 5. What do you think of that?
That's a lot of quarterbacks.
That's a lot of quarterbacks. It's a lot, especially for trying to keep faith in Sam Darnold. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
I mean, I think that by the time the season starts, it'll be Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, and a third one.
Probably like a rookie young guy, whatever. Yeah. I mean, they did draft the Jets did draft someone, I forget who. I think it was a guy from Florida International.
Yeah. So I'm not a lot of quarterbacks, but I think that it's a good place for Joe Flacco and good for Sam Darnold to have a mentor. Nothing is going to improve for Sam Darnold from a larger scape until Adam Gase goes away.
Yeah, that's true. What I wanted to know, in your opinion, though, do you think that Cam Newton should have been the guy to bring in here?
Maybe.
Because we forget about him.
Right. So, from a mentor standpoint, I think Joe Flacco would be better, just because Joe Flacco is older, and basically just because he's older and is so much farther less likely to compete for a starting job.
Yeah.
Where Cam Newton would be competing for a starting job, would be trying to compete, and that would destroy Darnold's confidence. Like it would be similar to me like what Chicago's doing, where you have the quarterback who has not been doing great, and you bring in a vet to compete for it. That's what Cam Newton going there would be, to me.
Yeah, I think that the only thing that holds me up on it is that there were recent reports out there that Cam is beginning to warm up to the idea of just being a backup this season.
Okay.
And that in that case, I just think with what happened to Darnold earlier in the season last year, where he went down with mono, I just think that I think that if you want to have someone that you can really rely on, Joe Flacco had a really rough year, and I'm hoping that with Cam's medicals that he does come back and he can play. If Darnold happens to go down, knock on wood that does not happen, that could keep the Jets in the mix. I just don't know if Flacco would be the guy.
Right. I don't know if there's enough else on the Jets' offense for the Jets to even be considered in the mix.
Yeah, I think that there's gonna be the Jets they're kind of one of those teams that are riding the line right now of either being bad or being surprisingly good. They went 7-4 down the stretch, though. I mean,
they did, and they had a really good defense.
Yeah,
but they don't have very much, and they addressed O-line in the draft, which is great.
Yeah,
and that will help out Darnold and Bell, but I don't think they have receiving core to really compete.
Yeah. Robbie Anderson was kind of was one of their best players, and he left. So,
right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to look at.
Yeah.
The other another big signing that happened. Carlos Hyde is now a Seahawk. So, the Seahawks just continue to add anyone that could develop some sort of running game behind Russell Wilson.
They kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because it's so. Chris Carson, Rashad Penny have been their 1 and 2, their kind of 1-2 punch deal. Carson being the one, and Carson should be ready to start the season, but that's a should.
Right.
And with everything that's going on, that could be even more up in the air. Penny will probably start the year on the PUP, which is a problem.
That is a problem.
And especially Pete Carroll is known for downplaying injuries, saying that, oh, no, it's not that bad. He's going to be back soon. So when the Seahawks actually come out and say he'll probably start the year on the PUP, that's you got to trust that. So I think this is a good place for Carlos Hyde. I figured it would either be here or Philly. Mm-hmm. Devonta Freeman got offered the job for Seattle, but turned it down.
He wants more money, which I just don't think he's gonna get.
Which he doesn't get. He's not gonna get.
Yeah.
So obviously Seattle looking for a running back. I think Carlos Hyde is the best available fit. Devonta Freeman, if he's gonna go one of two routes, he's either going to wait for an injury for someone big important to the team, like a Zeke or McCaffrey, and try to sign there to help them out, or he's going to go to Philly. Because Philly, once he realizes, oh shit, I'm not going to get as big of a deal as I want.
Yeah.
And actually wants to play this season, he'll sign with Philly, the team that really wants to do an RBBC.
Yeah, I like the signing. I think that they just I feel like Hyde, he's such a up and down guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone hypes him up so much, or at least hyped him up really a lot during the Niners years, and that never really came to fruition. He did have a decent season with the Texans and Duke Johnson, which, by the way, I was just thinking about this. It's a double Johnson combo back there.
It's a double D Johnson.
Double D Johnson. Oh wow. You got the double D's, double Johnsons. Right. That is too. That is two inappropriate words altogether.
Well, it's funny. So in the I'm going to tell a story. This past season, I was in the Fantasy Footballers Listener League.
Yeah.
And there was a trade with one of the hosts, and the host told the story on the podcast. I'm gonna forget, I think, the exact trade, but I think it was Cooper Kupp and D Johnson for Terry McLaurin and I want to say Le'Veon Bell, something like that.
Okay.
And Le'Veon Bell last year was not super good. He was okay, right. But he wasn't amazing.
Right.
And this was offered the winner of the league offered this eventual winner of the league offered this trade to one of the hosts, and the host looked at it and was like, "Oh, I get D Johnson and Cooper Kupp. That sounds like a great deal." He thought it was David Johnson. And this was early in the season.
Oh no!
He didn't read it. He just read D Johnson, and now they're both on the same team.
Now, yeah, that's the thing.
Funny thing is, he ended up getting the better fantasy player in Duke Johnson versus David Johnson.
Oh, absolutely. Now it's gonna be tough because you're gonna see D Johnson and you're gonna try to check the team, but oh nope, right. They're both HOU. It's like right. Damn it.
So you'll need to look to see if there's a junior or not.
Oh, that's true.
Or if it's a Dad Johnson or a Do Johnson.
Dad and Do.
Daddy Johnson.
It sounds like you're doing a doo-wop band. Dadu.
Do-wop. Do-wop.
But anyways, Carlos Hyde, nice signing. Let's move forward.
Yes.
I didn't really give my input on that, but it's a fine signing.
It's fine. It makes
Eli,
sense.
it makes sense. Eli Apple, Eli Apple was like literally just signed as we started recording. He signed to the Panthers. What's your thoughts?
So Eli Apple's just in a weird situation right now because he was like slated to go to the Raiders and then just wasn't.
Yeah,
Contract wasn't fully signed, and now he's on the Panthers. I think it works well for the Panthers. Add an okay veteran, former first round pick by the Giants veteran. Um,
yeah.
um, and we'll see if he can do anything, at least to mentor all the fucking defensive picks that the Panthers made.
It's true. You know what it is like. It's Eli kind of. Eli Apple had a pretty, he had some decent when he first made it to the Saints. He had some decent, plays that he made, and I don't know if he played incredibly well down the stretch, but he's a decent veteran player, at least especially behind Dante Jackson right now, who's really the only good cornerback on the Panthers right now.
Yeah.
And so you with both on both of those fronts, like it's a nice depth addition, and hopefully he does end up playing at a second first round level player. Hopefully he does get to that point again at some point.
Yeah.
And last but not least, I want to just touch upon uniforms, because we forgot to last time. We had talked so much draft last time. Was last time the draft? I don't know. Whatever it was.
Last time was 76.
Yes, that's right. That was the 17,776.
Yep.
The Chargers and Rams each during the draft week, the Chargers during draft week and then the Rams a few weeks later revealed their uniforms. What was your take on both of them?
So I'll start with the Rams. They look like glorified Pro Bowl uniforms.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan. The horn to kind of match their horn design, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the yellow to white gradient, I think, looks tacky. I really don't like the font.
The numbers are they're weird to me, because they just kind of look like sludge. Almost. Yeah. It's not even just the font, it's just like the way it's printed on the uniforms. They just kind of look like someone like took one of those like sparkly gel pens or whatever and like just put the 8 on there, like, and like, it just globbed out, or 8 or whatever the fucking number there is. Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Rams it just looks cartoonish, and I really
follow up a bad logo design with a bad uniform.
Like, I don't understand why they wouldn't just make their alternate uniform their primary one. Like, it was right there. It was already made. You didn't have to do much changing. You just had to create an away uniform wrapped around the the alternate, and you're all set. Like, this is just, it's not good. And it's just, the Rams rebranding process has just been a big ol'...
It's been so many misses.
Big ol' L in their transition to their new stadium. And the Chargers, on the other hand,
have fucking amazing uniforms.
Yeah.
These might be like among my favorite in the NFL now. They are so sleek. I love the bolt on the pants. I love how all the combinations look. It's so simple, yet it works so well.
I love the yellow pants.
Yeah, yellow pants, powder blue shirt is my favorite.
I also love the two alternate uniforms as well. The one that's like the royal blue one, and one that is like the navy blue, like their old uniform.
The navy blue I really like too, because the bolt is just the outline; it's not filled in.
Yeah,
that looks cool. They also have numbers on their helmets, which is unique.
That's true. I don't necessarily love that. I think that I understand that's like an old school look.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but that's fine. That's just a personal preference. I mean, I just feel like with how the Chargers rolled out this offseason with their promotional stuff, like the Chargers needed to nail it because they have just such a they don't have a big old fan base to fill up that stadium right now.
No.
And not that these things are going to fill up the stadium, but they're doing the right thing right now by creating these awesome uniforms and a nice nice looking logo as well. I don't know, man. I think the Chargers know what they're doing, and the Rams, I'm just like I don't really know what's happening on the marketing front.
Yeah.
So between all 6 uniform changes, I believe it was 6. Which one was
Chargers,
your favorite?
Rams, Browns, Falcons, Bucks, and
Patriots.
I forgot the Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots. The Patriots changed to their alternates as their main
right.
uniform.
Chargers are the best.
Okay.
Chargers are the best.
What about the worst?
Patriots. No, it's between Super Bowl 52. Sorry, Super Bowl 53.
Yeah.
It's either Patriots or Rams.
I really don't like the Falcons.
Falcons are pretty bad too. They're the gamer chair uniforms.
I forgot. I think you said that last time.
I did. I definitely did.
It's funny.
But Bucks are second for me.
Okay.
Browns easy third.
Mm-hmm.
And then Falcons, Rams, Patriots can whatever. I don't
In whatever order. Yeah. I think Falcons are the worst, and I agree with you. I think Chargers are my favorite, and Bucks are my second favorite. I would say. I think I would have the same order as you.
Yeah.
I think it would be the Chargers, Bucks, Browns, and I'd put the Rams in front of Patriots and Falcons. Not that the Patriots butchered the uniforms like the Rams did. I think just personally I like the Rams colors a lot more, and I really don't understand the red and white stripe on the shoulder pads for the Patriots. Confusing. I don't get that. People love it though.
I've been thinking a lot about uniform design lately.
Oh, yes. I wonder why.
Yeah.
I have no idea why you say that. Nudge.
Interesting.
But yes.
We'll see how mine end up turning out in the end.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know if we've ever really discussed in full detail what was happening.
Let's tease them with just that.
Yes. There you go.
Give them a morsel.
A little morsel. All right, so that's what's happening in the news, and let's move forward to our mascot battles. It's been a long time since we did this, mostly because it was done in conjunction with the NFL schedule, and there's been no schedule. And now that there is one, but we're gonna hold off on any formal schedule battles until the season starts, if there is a season. And we're going to randomly pick 2 teams for 3 different battles. Well, it'll be 6 teams overall. And we will debate based off of what I pull out of my Super Fight the Challenge deck, which is basically random scenarios that you pit people up against each other in. It's not just a fight. It's any other form. So the first battle will be between. Oh, we got Cat Bull.
Hell yeah!
Panthers versus Lions.
All right, I'll take Lions.
You'll take Lions? Really? I feel
Lions.
like you would take the Panthers in this.
No, well, so we're doing the mascots, right?
But you like the Lions as a mascot a lot more.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take the Panther. And the first one is survive the longest on a desert island. I don't even know. This is you could go first for this one.
All right. Well, I mean, lions are known not to live in the desert, but to live in the savannah. It's the biome that lions are often live in the most. The meat source would be a little bit rough, but they would be able to, I think, figure out how to get the food source that they would need. You saw in Madagascar. Well, in Madagascar, Alex the lion wasn't very good at building shelter. He had to rely on his friends. but regardless, the line would have their their own leadership skills and climate uh, to climate appropriateness. That's a weird way to say that. To figure out how to survive on an island.
Yeah. Panthers, I don't think they don't fit in this climate necessarily. But unless you're talking about an island, I believe they're more like northern creatures. I believe panthers.
So here's the thing about panthers. A panther technically doesn't exist. Like
I
there's
know
no
they're like
separate
jaguars,
classification.
aren't they?
They're all black jaguars or leopards.
Okay, yeah. Uh, I think that the Panthers. Here, the thing is, I feel like the hard part about this battle is that they're basically this. They're kind of similar creatures in a lot of ways. So I basically have a lot of the same arguments as you. I think that the Panthers will be able to hunt down their prey. I remember there was a show that I watched very briefly with my dad. That was a surviving show. I think that you may have watched it too. Damn, I wish I could remember. It was on the History Channel. And it was
I definitely did not watch that.
Okay, yeah. It was basically people were surviving on their own, and whoever survived the longest. Not that anyone would die, but it would just be that they would, tap out and they would be taken away. But the Panthers were the most dangerous, element to those forests because they were the ones that would hunt. They would be the hunters of humans. These Panthers they are not scared of anything, and I think that no matter what, on a deserted island, if they landed with I'm sure a bunch of different animals. I think the panther will be the one on top because they can disguise themselves in the dark because they're a dark colored panthers. They could do a lot of their hunting in the dark.
I would suppose it would depend on the climate of the island. Like, is it more deserty or is it more tropical?
I think it's just saying. It does say desert island. I think on the card.
Does it say desert island or deserted?
That's the thing. I think it says desert island, which I feel like that's a typo.
I feel like that's a misprint in the card because desert island and deserted island are two very different things.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, if it's a desert island, then I'll concede that maybe the lion probably has the bigger shot. But if it's deserted and there's a choice of the island, I know the panthers can survive.
We need more information.
Yeah, it's AKA fix your game super fight. Let's move on here. All right, so the next two teams here are the Saints and the Chargers.
Okay.
So how are we deciphering what a Charger is?
All right. Let's go. So they have the fucking like decal where it's like a horse. Not doing a horse, but doing like someone on a horse, cavalier type of thing.
They do. I
with
feel
electricity powers.
Electricity powers. They're this is like Zeus essentially or whatever that they can just strike down lightning, on things. All right. I will take. I'll take the Saints.
All right, I'll do the Charger.
However you want to interpret the Chargers, I'll allow you to interpret.
Okay, I have an idea in my head that may change depending on what the task is.
All right. Oh God. Oh, okay. Wait a second. This is interesting. So it says best body card for a very wealthy blank, and it asks me to draw a random character card. So here's the thing. I have a list of teams here that I could pull from. How about they are the best bodyguard for a very wealthy gold miner, as in the 49ers?
Okay. You want to start with this one?
Yeah, let's do it. Listen, when God's on your side, you're good. The Saints, the Saint will bless you and will make sure that will protect you in any sort of situation. will protect the gold miner, I should say. The gold miner, and as he mines for more gold, the Saints will stand by, idly by, and basically create a holy circle around them as they mine, so to make sure that the evil demons, or evil lightning demons, don't come and ruin their day. And I think that there will be they'll bring lots of holy water, with them as well, to just make sure to put out any dangers ahead. So that's the Saints.
All right, for the Chargers, so I looked up. Gold does conduct electricity, so having someone with electrical powers that you can use your gold supply to help enhance their powers, to keep the people trying to steal your gold away, is very helpful in that regard. Plus, they got a horse; they can move quickly. They can chase people down if some gold manages to get stolen. They just got to watch their electrical powers around the 49er, because if it bad things if they're holding gold and they get electrocuted.
So that there is some dangers with having a Charger as
some
a
risk, but high reward.
High reward, exactly. All right, that was an interesting one.
Low floor, high ceiling.
Low floor, high ceiling. That's that's like fantasy talk, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, let's last one here. It's the Cowboys. I feel like we've done Cowboys and Falcons so much before in this. Actually, now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, we definitely have.
Do you want me just to look at the other two more teams and just see if maybe that'd be more interesting?
Yeah.
Raiders and Rams.
Let's do it.
Let's do Raiders and Rams. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to take?
I'll take Rams.
I'll take Raiders. Tour de France.
Oh God. Okay.
You start this time. I think I've started.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, in the Tour de France, where you must ride bicycles, it is a bicycle race. Rams got two big horns, right?
Yes.
Could pass those off as bike handlebars. They could just be the bike. I don't know what the rules for the Tour de France are about, like, knocking opponents off or anything, but that would be really easy for the Ram. Just knock them out of the way. You have no competition.
God, just straight up, like, hey, it's a bike race. No, it's a handlebar race, and we can bring any handlebar race,
and it's Air Bud rules, where where the rules nowhere in the rules does it say a Ram cannot race.
I mean, I don't think that maybe the Tour de France rules keepers have not really foreshadowed the fact that a Ram would come into play in these races. I would say that for the Raiders, I think that I feel like the Raiders stereotype is that these guys are like, I guess a modern day Raider would just be those guys on motorcycles and like, I don't know, man. I just think
gangs.
The biker gangs. Like, and look, that's perfect. That's perfect for this race. They know how to speed and how to get away with things and make sure that they can cheat their way too. The Raiders, they will do anything in their power to win the race. They'll probably make sure that half the competition doesn't show up on the day of the race, and they could bike their way to glory, because that's all they do anyway. It's just bike and steal and destroy.
Do anything to win, just like Lance Armstrong.
Ooh, relevance. Relevant.
That was like a decade ago when that shit went down.
Well, yes, but literally on Sunday, ESPN had a Lance documentary come out. So,
oh my God, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's good timing, my friend. So all right, so if I remember, I'll post polls on Twitter. You let us know what you think about the debate, and if you want to debate the Cowboys and Falcons and what they would do in any of these situations, because we kind of left them to dry. You can also do that as well.
Yeehaw.
Mascot battles are done. And we move on. Yeah, the Goat Cubs has been so excited.
I love this shit.
He's been so
excited. You have no idea.
For this town. Dude, can I just say though, this has been an evolution because I feel like out of the gate you weren't like, not that you were like really against it, but you didn't seem like too on board. But as time has gone on and we've grown this, like you're like
right, and now that there's so much more of a plan in place, this is gonna be so fucking awesome.
Yes, yeah, perfect. Yeah. I'm glad.
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm glad that it has reached that point. So here's the thing. I actually go, Matt. You could take this. What's exactly the scenario that we have to perfectly get right now?
All right, so we have 7 teams right now, and it's a pretty good distribution throughout the country. The closest thing that we have is Connecticut and New Jersey teams, but for the most part, it's pretty spread out throughout the country.
Mm-hmm.
There are 10 states that I have deemed worthy of hosting the last team to take place in our West Division. They are Nebraska, Kansas, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Washington, Alaska, and Hawaii. So that will kind of just perfectly fill out the team. The map and teams get a really nice distribution. You're gonna have someone near you that you can root for no matter where you are in the country, and I'm excited for that. So
yeah,
Chris, do you have a city?
Nope. So here's the thing. We decided to do this on the podcast because we're trying to figure out. I have so far. Oh, I have a city.
Okay.
But hold on. What's the threshold?
10,000.
Okay, never mind. It was Thermopolis in Wyoming.
Ooh.
That sounds nuclear, which I like, but unfortunately that does not.
Yeah, we do need to have a 10,000 population threshold. I put that in, mostly on a paranoid aspect of myself, not wanting every fucking town that we get to be corn shuck Midwest.
Right. I also found, which I think is my favorite of the ones that we will not use, Anaconda, Montana.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But it's just below the 10,000.
Okay, what is it at?
It's Montana.
No, what the?
Oh no, it's 9,100.
I mean, it's named Anaconda.
So are you? Well, okay. Well, hold on a second. There's one on this list that's called Winnemucca. I need to fucking see where this is.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
It's a city in Nevada. Hold on.
Nevada's not available.
Oh, it's not. Damn,
no,
it's
we have a California team.
Damn, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna wait. There's a South San Francisco. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on. I'm skipping that. Hold on. I also just looked up Menominee, which is Michigan. Damn it. Okay. Last try. Wellsburg. God damn it. Hold on.
That's West Virginia.
God. All right. Fine. We'll do Anaconda. Anaconda, Montana is our smallest city, our underdog city, if you will. The last city chosen.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's got a fun name, and it's in a state that would not get a professional sports team.
Yeah, some respect for the Montana people out there. Hopefully I think there's some good people in Montana. I hope.
Yeah.
I like to think. So they're in Deer Lodge County. Oh my God, this is Montana as all hell.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god, Chris, this map looks so satisfying.
What do you mean, like the in terms of like how everything distributes?
Just how everything is spaced out. It's just a really nice look.
Good, that's good.
I'll send you the picture so you can.
And part of me is glad that we didn't end up doing Hawaii or Alaska because I don't know, we would have to justify
plane costs.
Some plane cloth, yeah, exactly, and then playing in super cold or super hot weather.
Right.
Although people have played in Hawaii before. So
I love Montana county names. So they're in Deer Lodge County. There's also Beaverhead, Butte Silver Bow, and Granite counties.
Wait, there's a beaver. There's a beaver county.
Beaverhead County.
Beaverhead County.
Beaverhead. The
Beaverhead.
the animal that gnaws on wood.
No, I know. I said
Yeah.
I heard you.
Okay.
They are they are located at the foot of the Anaconda Range, known locally as the Pintlers.
The Pintlers. Okay.
I've never heard of that.
No.
All right. You're gonna look at the Wikipedia page. I'm gonna find
Yep.
the town page.
It's been filming locations for a lot of movies.
Ooh, do tell.
So I'm trying to see if there are any that actually. Prodigal Sons. This is a documentary. Dead Seven, a zombie movie on sci-fi, which of course.
Does it make sense? I guess.
Yep. Lucille Ball lived here at one point.
Ooh.
Notable people.
I love Lucy.
Yes.
The can we call it the Anaconda Rookies?
Probably not.
There's just copyright claims.
They do have a nice sports and recreation list.
Okay, they have a lot. Which is hopeful because I want to find a really good football stadium in Anaconda.
Right. I think green for this team for sure.
Yes, so we were talking about this. We're thinking we were trying to balance out some of the colors amongst the teams. Green definitely works. I see that Anaconda, the Chamber of Commerce, they don't really use any standout colors necessarily. A lot of just pale colors. Nothing that's nothing that stands out. So I guess we could be creative. On what the second color is, at least for now.
Interesting. In 1903, the Socialist Party of America won its first victory west of the Mississippi.
Huh. Interesting. A win for socialists everywhere.
Elected a socialist mayor, treasurer, police judge, and 3 councilmen.
Oh wait, all of them were socialists? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
In 1903.
Huh. And I guess that has slowly faded away.
Probably. I see a lot of mining related things.
There you go. So we're getting in the miners, and then you're going into the 49er territory.
I'm just seeing what else there is.
Yeah. Let's see that there's a community profile on. It's actually redirects to the Deer Lodge County website. I mean, I had a population of 9.13k people with a median age of 47.4 and a median household income of 41,000. Between 2016 and 2017, the population of Deer Lodge County declined from 9,170 to 9,131. And its median household. Okay, this is real boring statistics here. Sorry, the Deer Lodge County. I know you're really talking about how they also have a big old COVID-19 section. Not surprised. Yeah, this is all just like data. I don't know why they I just wanted to find out about the community, and they just giving me all these data points that I don't care about at all. I just want to know. Attractions. Here we go. This is what my favorite thing is.
It is close. So it is close to Helena, Montana, the capital.
Okay.
I think that's the capital.
So there's a lot of Washoe stuff here. So Washoe Park, Washoe Theater, Washoe Park Trout Hatchery.
Must be named after someone.
The Hatchery Visitor Center consists of a display pond of trout, interpretive center, and a live stream aquarium. The hatchery grounds are open during daylight. Interesting. That's it. So they are fish people. They are one with their local fishes. I wonder if they've donated any of it to Blathers. They also have the Smokestack State Park. They have a lot of boating and lake activities. They have a Lake Creek State Park as well. Old Works Golf Course also takes place there. There's the Copper Village Museum and Art Center, housed in the former Anaconda City Hall, built in 1896. The complex includes a historical museum, archives, and art center, along with a retail shop and the local historical society.
I do see a Mormon church.
Great. Wonderful.
Just looking at a map.
Yeah.
All right, I have a mascot proposition.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so this town is really into mining.
Yes.
It's very mountainous.
Mm-hmm.
Its state is literally has mountain in the name.
Yes.
It's also the smallest city that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Anaconda Dwarves.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, you know what? When I say that out loud, when it's not in a fantasy context.
I don't know if everyone out there would be happy with that.
Yeah, let's go away from that.
Appreciate it. I appreciate the fantasy aspect. I appreciate the effort. I don't think it works well.
That's not a great thing to do.
Oops. So I mean, you could say the Anaconda Mountaineers. You could do Anaconda Miners if you want to go in that front.
Yeah.
We could. I mean, there's also they love their trout there. They love boating as well. So we could also move into the aquatic realm. But I also know that I think Perth Amboy also already is aquatic.
Perth Amboy is very aquatic.
Yeah. So
there's honestly, Mountaineers sounds the most unique.
Okay, I'm down for that. The Anaconda Mountaineers. I think it rolls off the tongue well. It's a lot of syllables, but you know what?
Yeah, Anaconda Mountaineers.
Listen, when you are the smallest of the bunch, you need to overcompensate, and by overcompensating with lots of syllables, that's just
longest name. Anaconda Mountaineers.
It does sound like you're about to sing Anaconda by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the same number of syllables as Phoenix City Phoenixes. Perth Amboy Privateers. That's one less.
Yes.
East Chicago Blacksmiths. Yeah.
Escondido Artisans.
Escondido Artisans.
Yeah, we have a lot of mouthfuls, but you know what?
That's
what makes it unique.
Yeah.
All right.
So green is their main color for sure.
Yes. We were discussing because I and hear me out, Montana, and hear me out, everyone else out there. I've always found that I think pink is a very underrated color, and I think a lot of people out there just want to be like, ooh, girl color, and it's like, give me a break. That's it. But do you think it works?
I think it would work with a green. It would look a little watermelony, but I think that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, here's the thing. I think that you can make the argument that, like, I think green. I don't think that pink works with a lot of colors. I think it works well with a neutral color like a black, white, or gray. But I think green it does work well with, and I agree.
Yeah.
It does look watermelony, but who doesn't love watermelon? Let's just face it.
Right.
Well, there's a few people out there that don't like watermelon, but you know what I mean.
One of our TCP
yeah, they're just like
conspirators.
The co-conspirators and the evil plan that is TCP.
Yeah. Plan's just so chaos.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I'm down for that. And let's now check and see what stadium the Anaconda Mountaineers will be playing in. There is a Mitchell Stadium.
Okay.
Which looks like that's very a lot of people are talking about it. It is actually directly in Anaconda. It's a 10,000 seat stadium. Oh wait, nope, sorry, that's in West Virginia. Hold on a second. I was just like, wow, they have more seats than people. There's not surprise, not really a lot of they don't have seat details for Mitchell
Oh yeah,
Stadium in Montana, but I think that's the go-to.
yeah.
I think that's we settle on that small stadium, and it works out that way. Okay, so the Mitchell Stadium will host the Anaconda Mountaineers, the green and pink team, and with that, we have completed the virtual football league.
Da, 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 da.
So just go over it one more time. It's the East Chicago Blacksmiths, the Mansfield Weavers, the Perth Amboy Privateers, and the Phoenix City Phoenixes. God damn, I still don't know how I feel about that.
No, it's great. Trust me.
Then you have the Brainerd Paladins, the Escondido Artisans, the Weatherford Sheriffs, and the Anaconda Mountaineers. That is that, and we've been underway off camera planning a draft. We have been recruiting some people to draft for these 8 teams and create basically create football teams that are completely made of video game characters of their choosing. It's going to be a disaster, and I'm very much looking forward to it because I think that a lot of people are gonna have it's. I directly told them to anyone that I've been pitching this idea to that you could choose whoever you'd like for the football team as long as you could give an argument as to why they would work for the team in terms of what position they are.
Yeah.
So they will pull from whatever universes that they love the most, and we will have lots of debates about it, but ultimately that will be the draft process. We've already built a big board, but we've said that people could also take off the big board. So there's a lot. We have a lot of moving parts on the draft process. I think the next time you see us, we will. I think we could talk some pre-draft stuff. We could do.
Yeah.
We could talk like
talk about the league as a whole.
Yes.
Are we going to do certain reveals then, or
So we do have some other things in the works. I think that we there is going to be a visual element to this that obviously in a podcast form can't work. We do want you guys to stay tuned on the Team Chaos Production YouTube channel because we will be uploading. We plan on uploading some things revolving around the draft as well as another key element of the league, which we. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's a key element.
It'll be cool.
It's a good visual element to it, and so we'll make sure to let you guys know on here when those videos are up, so you could go ahead and check those out. But next podcast we'll talk in more detail about the characters that we've pitched on the big board already. If any of them are going to end up being drafted, then let's hope that maybe some of them are, so we didn't waste our time actually building that. But there's going to be a lot of different viewpoints and stuff, and I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy us building this league from the ground up. Any other thoughts about the football league or anything else on this podcast, Matt?
Not at the moment. I think that now that we have all 8 teams, it's going to be very exciting. This podcast is even more sexy.
Damn. Yes. Yes. This is getting a little predatory. Just a tad. No, I'm kidding. But I'm very much looking forward to it. We're gonna see if we could get. We have quite a few people locked in already. We're still waiting to hear back from a few others. And we'll see. We may end up drafting for a team. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. It's just a way for us to keep busy while the NFL is kind of in this downtime that is June, which would happen anyway, but especially with what's happening in the world. We will see. But one thing that we did not discuss is that the sports facilities are opening up, and some of the team officials are going to these facilities already. So, things seem like they're getting better, but hold your breath, everyone. That's
Yeah.
hold your breath, stand 6 feet away, wear a mask. That's all that jazz. But with that being said, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Good night and good ball. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.